this external influence over the decades, but somehow, like the optimistic tone that Dr. Tin is putting forward, Africa has been able to achieve certain milestones in spite of that. Do you think it is still as strong as it was years back? You mentioned China and other countries.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry for the hiccup, but I am back. Let me tell you frankly, if external influence is real still available, we only got political independence. We did not get economic independence. Most of the states in West Africa, for example, all the French-speaking countries, they got only political independence to have flags. We have flags, but we don't have money in the pocket. Money was not coming to us. Money was going somewhere, then given to us. At least for us in the English-speaking states like Nigeria, Uganda, so, Kenya, and those Anglophone, we had that both. We were left with both. We were given, okay, go ahead. But we started mismanaging our own economies. That's okay. But most of the Francophone states in Africa had no economic independence. So economic independence is the key that makes a country work. You can have politics, but that politics is again determined by the external forces. Look at ECOWAS. ECOWAS has no money of its own. ECOWAS is built by the European Union. You see us begging European Union to be given money in order to run our projects in ECOWAS, in East African Community, in African Union itself. So we have quite a lot of problems to sort out as far as neocolonialism is concerned. China builds
While His Excellency is speaking about ECOWAS, could I give an example, yes, a very interesting example?
Go ahead.
Yes. One of the best examples showing the force.
Dr. Masanga, just hold on a minute. He wanted to interject so he doesn't forget his thoughts. We'll come back to you, please.
Yes. A very important example that nobody noticed. You remember 2 years ago, France was about to start a war against Niger, and ECOWAS was even supporting that to some extent. What happened? There was a meeting of the Security Council of the African Union. Most people didn't even know something like that would exist. They said it's not acceptable that France or anybody else would make a war against any of our countries. And they said we want a unanimous vote because we don't want any country of Africa to then give access to France and say, oh, okay, we came because we were invited by XYZ. No, they said we want not only a majority, but a unanimous vote.
Okay.
Therefore, in fact, the war never started. And that's quite an achievement. It's invisible because, of course, a war that does not happen is invisible. But that's quite a victory. And I think that's a stone, a very important for the future. For the first time ever, Africa was not even able to defeat somebody.
All right, Dr. Tin, we interjected Dr. Masanga.
Which is even better.
We interrupted Dr. Masanga to let you interject. So, Dr. Masanga, sorry for the interjection, but he needed to add something to what you were saying.
Yes, that is a good one, but still, we borrow their money. We borrow money for elections. Felicity, let's be frank, my brother here, let's talk frankly as African. It is good you are in the diaspora. We borrow money from these people to hold our election. Then when they come to account, they say, how did you spend the money for this election? You start crying. Africa needs to do one thing, to throw out completely this neocolonialism. That tag that comes through the back window, the ventilator. We have closed it in the main door, but in the back window, they're still coming. Not only the European Union, America, for example. Look at this situation, Felicity. At the moment, Trump wants to chase everybody out of his America. Nobody's speaking at all. My brother there is in Paris. He hasn't issued a statement against it. AU itself has not even said something. Many Africans are being loaded on the plane. They're about to come. Now, let's be honest. What can we do to change this neo-colonialism? Look at the question of the visa.
Dr. Masalia.
There are so many things that if I was a president on Africa, Palestine, wait a minute, there are certain things I will change. There are certain things I will change. You know what? Why should an American pay $50 to come and see Nigeria? When you want to go to US, you have to pay $300 for a visa. And even the money at times doesn't come back. We have a lot. God created us differently. And let's begin with that spirit. My friend in Paris, we must educate our people that neocolonialism is the biggest obstacle that comes to divide us every time we want to unite.
I mean, if we bring in Trump's moves now, won't leave this place, and we're trying to focus on, within our own borders, and there are mixed feelings about his policy. Independence, and this is one way that we still have colonialism being somehow practiced on the continent. But shouldn't the fact that there are concerns about economic independence be a booster for a borderless Africa that will allow free movement of trade?
That's okay. Which booster? For example, you want to export, you try to export your paper, pilipili, which we call pilipili in East Africa, paper to Europe. They will want you to design the box, to design how this paper should look like. You see, how does that help African countries to grow economically? You have tariffs that have been put on our goods. Some of our goods go into Europe with high tariffs. And that is, I saw it in the European Union when East Africa wanted to join, when Britain cut off from the European Union, we remained on our own as Commonwealth countries. So Britain came on its own, we shall buy your goods. But the European Union said, we need this, that, before you even export commodities to go into Europe, you must go under a lot of difficulties. So there is nothing that they have given us which encourages us to even go. If we want to have a free trade area, European Union with a population like East African community, we have a population like, let's say ECOWAS, where you are, you have a population of about 700 million people coming together. It will threaten Europe, and Europe will come in. That is an external threat. It will come in to say, oh, this one is short, this one is tall, take this one out. That is what they do. Colonial doctrine of mercantile capitalism has destroyed our continent. They still have the Captain Lugard, doctrine of our land, our wealth, and our people. Now we are even exporting our own people. They want our people. You have seen a lot, 10,000 Nigerians are stranded somewhere in Thailand, another several in the Middle East, another one. That type must be corrected by Africa.
All right.
And Africa has not put there the correction systems so that our people stay here on the continent.
I think this is a good point for us to take a very short break. And when we come back, Dr. Tina, I'll be asking you about concerns about uneven benefits of borderless Africa for some countries. Stay with us.